Hey there, Who Can It Be Now podcast fans. It's your buddy Adam from Podcasting Business School. That's the podcast where I teach people about podcast launch, growth, and monetization strategies. Check out episode 220, where I help you discover where you're at in the podcasting success timeline. You are listening to the Who Can It Be Now podcast, and it's time to bring out your host, my pod pal, Marilyn, Alauria.
Hello, everyone. It is Marilyn, Alauria, and welcome to Who Can It Be Now? And I am learning how not to say the podcast because I think you all know what it is, and you're listening to a podcast. And this is PodParty number 4, I believe. I'm super excited because we've got a lot of virgins on this one. And I personally enjoy virgins because they don't know what they're getting into, and they're getting into some fun. Today's PodParty, we're going to be talking about having a business aligned with your soul. And this is a really important topic for me. So before I jump into it, I just want to tell you how it all works because you might be new to the pod party here on the video. We do these Zooms pod parties. And if you want to join me on a pod party, go to marilynalauria.com/party, P-A-R-T-Y. I don't know why I just love saying party. I was a big partier when I was younger, so maybe that's why I don't know how to say it right. marilynalauria.com/party, so you can join us in these podcast parties. I enjoy doing these more than I enjoy, well, I love the podcast. So I'm going to tell you, I love the podcast. I love teaching in my communities, but I truly enjoy the pod parties because I get to know people on an intimate level. And I feel in this day and age, we need connection, especially when you're in a different type of space, like you're spiritually aligned, you're a spiritual person. You may feel a lot, you may have psychic gifts, and you don't know what. I'm going to mute people. So let me mute everyone because somebody's got some stuff going on in the background. It might be the ghost. We don't know what's happening. You never know who's going to show up on these pod parties. But it's really great to be able to connect in a light-minded, I call it light-minded community, because we don't have a lot of that. Like how many people here on the pod party have neighbors or people in their physical, like a mile radius, that would really understand the conversations of clairvoyancy and crystal balls and tarot cards and things like that? Because I have it because I live in a hippy dippy town. I don't necessarily want to talk to them about it, to be honest with you. I'm being honest, just being honest. A lot of times it's very uncomfortable to me. I'll go to if I go to a dinner party and they're like, I listen to your podcast and blah, blah, blah. And it's very uncomfortable for me. I'm like, can we just not do that here? Can we just make believe I'm like not that person? And I think it's a vulnerability. I think part of it is that people they back away from me if they find out what I do for a living because they think I'm reading their soul, or they dive into me like, what do you see? What do you see? And I'm like, get out of my fucking face. I see your face, So I want to know from all of you, hey, fill in the chat. You're not allowed to participate in the pod party unless you answer in the chat. I want to know from all of you if you've got people around you in the physical world who you feel really get you, like in your physical space. And so a lot of times, nobody close by, Christina said, Sandra says, I do, which is great. Emily says, I do. Hi, Emily. Yes, Lisa. No one close. Lorraine. Hi, Lorraine. Nice to see you here on too. Joan, I do. Okay. So different. Beva, hubby. That's great. I have a lot, but mostly family. I've created a soul fam. Good for you, Vanita. I do now. I do have some people I connect with spiritually. That's great. Okay. So a lot more than is normal. So we have like kind of a mixture because we have no one close and some. So what happens on these pod parties is I tap into the energy, I tap into your energy, and I tap into my guide's energy, and I let them run the ship. And many times, like I pick a topic, but I don't know what I'm going to teach. I don't know what I'm going to talk about until I show up. I have an idea. And today's topic is soul aligned business. And I want to talk about soul alignment. And obviously, I don't do a lot of lecturing. So what we're going to do is I'm going to talk a bit about soul aligned business. I'm going to get you into your soul alignment so that you can maybe not fully into it, because we're only going to do this for like 15, 20 minutes. And then I'm going to go into coaching and readings around it. But I'm going to get you into a place where you understand how you create a soul aligned business and what is the soul aligned business you want to create. Now, I know some of you already have one, but how many of you are looking to create a soul aligned business And do you know what your soul aligned business is? And do you even know what a soul aligned business is? Let's start with question number one. Do you know what a soul aligned business is? Give me your definition of what you think a soul aligned business is. And then I'm going to share. So give me your definition of what a soul aligned business is. Passion to follow, Beva said. Yes, one that feeds my soul with joy and magic. Exactly. Living and sharing my light and gifts with the world, Christina said. Exactly. Something that comes from who you are. I love that, Lorraine. Vanita says, I feel joy and passion, and that makes an impact. Great. What my passion and joy is, a business that aligns with some of what I believe I came here to do. Yes, great. So we're all in a good understanding about it, following your heart's desire. Soul aligned business for me, soul alignment is more important than purpose, because every business, every career that I went into, I went into it from a place of just wanting to study, just wanting to discover it. It wasn't because I wanted a career in it. It wasn't any of that. It was just like, when I started out in TV, I went behind the scenes, studied television communication at Marist College. That was the college I went to. I did an internship at MTV in production management. I didn't even know what production management was. I just needed to do an internship. I stayed in touch with them because I had good work skills. My mother had me working at 13 years old, folding laundry in a laundromat. So I was making $4 an hour off the books, which was a lot back then, and drinking and partying a lot with the owners, which was not good at 13, 14 years old. But I had a really good work ethic. So I stayed in touch with MTV. And when I graduated, I had a job where other graduates didn't. And I didn't know that was the career I wanted, but all of a sudden I was there. And then while I was there and working in this incredibly fun company, meeting all sorts of like big stars, Mick Jagger, Eric Clapton, you name them, I was around them. And I was miserable. I was just friggin' miserable. I was like, this is not what I'm meant to do. And we think our purpose is one thing. Like I thought, yeah, I'm going to be a producer. I'm going to be a director. I'm going to be creative. And when I got into it, I was like, oh, this is not like, I don't like this. So I started going to therapy, and she convinced me to go to an improv class, an acting class, so that I could come out of my shell and get more confident. And when I was in the improv class, I recognized that I wanted to possibly do acting. And I was like, I'll just do commercials or something. And before I knew it, I fell in love. I was doing showcases, and I decided I'm going to pursue acting. So then I got the lead in an off-Broadway play. A lot of you know these stories, but you could see a pattern here. I didn't know that I was going to have this career. I just started studying it or doing it because there was nothing else to do, and I was interested. And then all of a sudden I had a career, and I was aligned. I was acting. And then as I was acting, I was like, oh, I'm miserable again. What's going on here? And then that's when the dead started talking to me, and all this kind of crappy, crazy, crappy, weird, magical stuff happened. And I started studying tarot, and I started studying psychic abilities. And I had no clue that this is what I'd be doing, nor did I want to. Like, I didn't even know this existed, this career that I have. And the career that I have is very much branded to my personality. And all of a sudden, I came home to my soul. Like, this was what I was meant to be doing. And I started out readings, and I started teaching right off the bat too. And then in readings, I didn't enjoy doing readings anymore because I didn't want to disempower people. So I started teaching a lot more people how to do what I do and to do it for themselves. So you can see how, like, you start out with a purpose. How many of you get caught up or stuck on what's my purpose? Do you get caught up and stuck on what's my purpose? Because I'm going to invite you to not, and I want to see it in the chat. I'm going to invite you to not do that. I'm going to invite you to get into what you passionate about. What are you joyful about? So we're going to do a little bit of an exercise right now that I take people who've gone through Soul Finder Academy and the SAS experience. And it's a really great experience in order for you to discover what your joy and passion is. So people said not anymore, no longer, sort of, but interested in many directions. Sometimes, yes, I get stuck in what's my purpose and feel like it has to be big, saving the world big. Exactly, Lindsay. So if I want to invite you, Lindsay, and anybody else who says that it's like saving the world big, or that my purpose is so big, that freezes you. You're not able to then do what you really want to do. And you're not able to take action because it seems so much bigger than you can imagine. So you just stay frozen. So I'm going to invite you, Lindsay, to just do what you love to do and let the world open up to you as you're doing what you love to do. So I want to take you through a little exercise that I think will be really great for you. And it's the thing that I recognized inside myself. So the SAS pillar system is the pillar system I teach in Soul Finder Academy. And a lot of you are already familiar with this. We have graduates on here as well. So the first one is subconscious thinking. We're not going to really go into that today. Second one is alignment. Third one is soul ignition. And the last one is synchronicity. We're going to talk about alignment. So I want you all to do an exercise for me right now. Okay. And anybody who's listening, you're going to do this as well. I want you to close your eyes. Take a couple of breaths. And I'm going to talk a little bit through this as you do this exercise. And the reason that I'm going to talk about this as I fix my hair for the video is because yesterday I was being interviewed on a telesummit, and she was asking me about how I teach people how to get in touch with guides. And for me, breath is everything. So as you're breathing, I want you to recognize the power that you already have by breathing, the connection you already have to the universe, to divine source, to God, whatever you believe in, by breathing, and how you are that divine source as well, because you are breathing. So I just want you to own the breath in your body. And as you own the breath in your body, I want you to notice if any kind of color wants to come forward. And just pay attention to the color. That's all spirit wants me to do, is they want to ask you, because what they're asking you to do is to shift into your inner awareness, because what you desire, what you need, what action steps you need to take, it's not outside of you right now. It's inside of you. So they're asking that you deeply get into the information that is sitting inside your soul. And if at any time you jump into your mind, like, I don't know if I'm doing this right, I don't know, this is boring, why did I sign on to this thing? Whatever's going through your mind, my Brooklyn accent wants to come out heavy. Just keep dropping into your body. Now, I want you to take your left hand, which is receiving, and I want you to place it on your body. And I want through that for you to acknowledge that what you're going to answer, the questions that I'm going to put in front of you, they're exactly what you need to know right now in the moment. They are going to help you to catapult into the next level of your life, the next level of living. Notice where you put your hand and breathe into your hand. And the reason why Spirit does that again is because they want you to stop disempowering yourself. So if you put your hand on your own body and you're breathing into it, you're recognizing that you are the answer. You are the key to everything you need to know. What I do, what other teachers do, we give you the tools and techniques to discover the truth inside of you. Now I'm going to take you down memory lane. And I'm going to give you an age, but you're going to pick the age. I'm going to give you a range. But what's appearing in front of you is a familiar walkway. It's a familiar walkway. Whether you can see it or not does not matter to me. You can say inside your head, like right away, as soon as I thought walkway, I see sidewalks, Brooklyn sidewalks. And then I also see my grammar school. Does not matter. Just find a familiar walkway and it's out in front of you, but it's from your past. And here's the trick. I would like it to be from 10 years old or before. Could be 5 years old, could be 3 years old, but I'd like, if you can, to go from 10 and below. Now, some people don't have memories from then. Make it up. I don't care. It could be 15, could be your first earliest memory. If you don't have memories from 10 and below, really want you to focus on that path. I want you to see it. What color is it? What does it look like? What does it make you feel when you see it? If you were to put your hands on it, what would it physically feel like? Now I want you to start stepping out onto it. And I want you to notice your feet. Did they just get younger? Are they this, or are they who you are today? What's on your feet? How old are you on this path? And you could be, I'm like right now, I'm very young on it. I'm about 3, but I could be 3 and the age I am today. Now, what you're going to do, and I want you to listen to my words, and some of you may have already jumped to it, but you are going to you're going to walk to a scenario, a memory of when you wanted to be something, when you had a clear memory of something you wanted to be. Now, it could be that you were just coloring in your coloring book and you loved it. It could be that you were playing bank and you loved it. It does not matter. Do not put significance onto it. Just go and walk to a memory of something you were doing where you were like, you know what? I could be this. Now see yourself doing that thing that you love to do. How do you feel in your body doing this thing you love to do? Why do you love to do this thing? Now, what are three character traits that coming out of this? And I'll explain that in a second, or three emotions. So for me, they took me to someplace I've never been. I'm petting a dog. It's not even a dog I remember, but I feel connected. I feel love. I feel like there's something bigger and greater than me, this connection that I have with this animal. So I want you to come out with like three character traits from this. So that could be I feel strong, I feel worthy, I feel happy, I feel courageous, I feel understood. Come out with three character traits from this. Do not complicate this. If you don't understand what I'm saying, make it up. Now, I want you to, I'll give you a couple of seconds. I want you to finish this statement, I am, and just finish it. And it could be, I am love, I am courage. Now I want you to write the statement, I am, but I want you to give it an occupational title. Like, I am a teacher, I am a healer, I am a medium, I am a manager of money. Now I want you to leave that scenario and come back into your body. Notice your breath and breathe back into your physical being. Put your hand on yourself and acknowledge your breath. Acknowledge that everything, I didn't tell you where to go. I gave you ideas, but you went to a vision, you went to a memory, you had an experience. That all came from you. That's your instrument. Just take breaths, and you can say your name to yourself a couple of times or three times, just calling your spirit back into your body. And then if you have pen and paper, I'd love for you to do this, or you can put it in the chat. I'm going to go over the questions again, but we're going to summarize it into something in the end. I didn't ask any secret questions on this one because the secret is still being formed. The first question I asked was, how did you feel in your body? Write that down. We get excited, empowered, nervous. That's a good one, actually. Safe, happy, and peaceful, relaxed. They're all really good, but nervous is not wrong. Nervous is good. The next question I asked is, and you can write this down on a paper because you're going to want this anyway, but if you don't have a paper, just put it in the chat. It's totally fine. Why do you love to do this thing? Why do you love to do this thing? Great answers, everybody. To be something bigger. I feel beautiful and excited. Oh, so good. I've never done this meditation before, by the way. I never know what they're going to do. I don't know where they're going to take it right now, but that's what I love is what you guys are getting from it. It makes people happy. I feel beautiful and excited, joy, self-expressed. It's comfortable. And this is why I work and I live a soul-aligned life, because there is no amount of planning that I could have done to get these responses from you. I give myself over to spirit and I let them work through me, and you let it happen too. Lisa said it was like giving a gift to others. Beautiful. Beva, freedom to express. Emily, I feel connected and accomplished. I love it. Jan says it makes me feel that I'm happy and whole. Beautiful. These are the feelings you want in your business. And we're going to go through that in a second. So what were the 3 character traits that came up? There were 3 character traits that came up. Christina said uplifting, soothing, filling me with joy, kindness, fun, loving. I think that's the other one. So this character traits are loved, valued, safe. Beautiful. That's Jan. Bever, creative, inspired, kind. Gloriana. Hi, Gloriana. Compassion, helpful, loving. Sandra, feel capable, being quiet as a mouse. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I love the humor. Lindsay, fun, silly, creative. Great. Vanita, I am joyful, excited, and self-expressed. Good. I want everybody to answer this because where they're taking me now is going to be super important. Now, I'm not going to worry about the first I am statement. The I am statement I'm interested in is the occupational one. That's the one I'm most interested in you writing down. What was that I am statement? I am the king. I love that. Artist, teacher. I'm a host. Beautiful, Lindsay. I'm a communicator. I use my voice to heal. Beautiful. An astronomer. Perfect. Performing. I'm teaching healer. I'm a healer. Great. Encourager to others. Okay. So now we're going to summarize this right now. Everything that you guys have shared needs to be in whatever business you're doing. So many people try to figure this out intellectually, and that's where they mess themselves up and they aren't able to do a soul aligned business. But when you put all of these into your soul aligned business, it makes selling easier. It makes marketing easier. It makes what you do easier. So let me go back to some of, because we're going to go somewhere from here, but I just want to go back to some of the statements. So some of the things that you said were fun, silly, creative, like Lindsay said. I'm just taking where spirit's taking me. And you may be like, well, Lindsay, I'd love to know what you think you want to be or what you are, but you want to bring fun, silly, creative into your business, into your marketing, into your sales. People are like, oh, like I remember when I was studying sales, because I wasn't very good at sales, right? Because I'm not into this like hardcore pushing sales. It's not my thing. And then there's a worthy factor. You have to feel worthy about what you're selling. So there's this whole thing that happens when you start selling your products and selling who you are. And when I started recognizing that, first of all, I love what I do. I have a hard time receiving when my students, I don't like saying students, my community says to me, you've changed my life. Like Laura recently even got emails from people who want to know if I'll do readings because I did a reading for them 10 years ago and I changed the trajectory of their life, right? I have a hard time receiving that stuff, right? I'm being honest with all of you. This is not an ego statement, but I'm learning how to receive that because I'm like, wait a second, God, I believe in God. I don't care what you believe in, has gifted me something to help people believe in themselves, believe in their dreams. Why am I denying people that? Why? So when I start getting into not like, you have to buy this, you have to buy whatever, I don't care about any of that. This is what I do. This is what I love to do. When I speak from my passion, if people are right for it and they know it's time, they're buying it. And if they don't, then that's good for them. You need to know. I can't stand the people that sit on a fence. I have no patience for people that sit on a fence. And I'm very honest about it, but choose a side. And if your side is this isn't the right time, I'm all for that when I'm selling something. If this time is, I love this, I really want to do it, I'm all for that too. It's either way. I don't have like, oh, I just made a sale. It's great. I made a sale. Someone's coming in. But when somebody says to me, I'm not ready yet, I'm like, good for you. When I hear the conviction, not the fear or the scarcity, or can I invest in myself? I can speak to all of this now because I sit in what I love to do. And I just know that what I love to do is for the right people is going to be the right time. And then for other people, they're going to find something else. Does this make sense? I want to know. And then we're going to summarize this. What I want to say to all of you, like Kathleen said, confident, happy, and joyful. You want that in your business. If your business is, and I'm not talking about a bridge job, I'm talking about your soul's business. If that's not in your business, you need to do inventory on yourself. When I get to a place like Soul Finder Academy is now going into next level living. I shifted it. Soul Finder Academy has been a success. People have loved it. But I'm finding that right now I want to go into a year program and I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just sharing something. Next level living. So when I start recognizing in my own business, I don't care how much you put into a product. I put time and effort and people bought it and it was successful, but I have to honor myself. And if for some reason I'm not feeling happy or joyful anymore, I've got to shift. We get stuck. I don't care if you've been in business for 10, 15 years. I've been in business for over 15 years. It's okay to pivot. And when you're following your soul alignment, your purpose automatically comes through. Let me know. So let's summarize this first before we go. I want to do something really quick right now. What was it that you wanted to be when you were younger? This is the one I usually do with alignment. What was it that you wanted to be when you were younger? Put that in the chat, okay? And if you don't remember, I want you, a librarian, love it. Yeah. So just like for me, it was an actress. I was 5 years old, right? Man, my Brooklyn accent, a king. Oh no, that when you were a king, sorry. It could be anything. Okay, hold on. Doctor, Lisa, and I love that you're doing it. Artist, veterinarian, archaeologist, performing in some way. Love that, Laura. Psychologist, a linguist, translator, I work for global organizations, including the Olympics. Love it. Love it. Okay. An astronomer. Great. I don't know what an audiologist is. Educate me, Audrey. Educate me. Teacher. Great. Veterinarian, singer, actress. Okay. I want you right now, and I'm going to give you a reason for this. I wanted to be an actress, right? I want you to give me 3 reasons why you think you wanted to be what you wanted to be back then. And I'll give you one of my, I love entertaining people through story. Love it. Love it. I love, at that point, I needed to be seen and heard, right? So that was one of it. And then the other thing I loved doing was making people laugh. It's one of my favorite things. And by the way, I just did a test on my virtues, and that was number 1 on my virtue list. I was like humor. So what are the 3 reasons why you think you wanted to archaeologist? Okay, we might have invented a new career. Who cares? Because that's what we're doing in this time. So why did you want to be that thing? So Lorraine said, I love animals. I like to help people and animals, and I want them to be healthy. I love traveling, learning languages, and good at communicating. Great. Fun, expressive, can be anyone, Lynn said. Care for animals, communicate with them, understand them, Sandra said. Great. Okay. Laura said, tell stories, make others laugh, love being creative. Audrey says, love science and exploring. Okay. Lisa says, just came naturally to me to heal people. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now, looking at what you wanted to be, what you want to be today, and this exercise you just went through, what do you feel are the 3 strongest traits that you can now possess moving forward in your soul aligned business? Taking everything we just did, happy, joyful, connected, nervous. What are the 3 traits from what you wanted to be? Because me being wanting to be an actress, I don't want to be an actress anymore. But I still love motivating people through story. I still love making people laugh. And look what I'm doing. I'm a psychic medium. But if I said, oh, you can't do that as a psychic medium, what? I would be denying myself. The being seen and heard, it's about seeing and hearing myself. It's the most important thing for me. And then seeing and hearing my community. My community is on here. They know I do this. I see and hear them. That's why I don't call them students, because I feel like we're all peer-to-peer. And we're all magical in our own right. So I want to hear right now, I want you to summarize this. What are the 3 traits that help you to be soul aligned in your business? Even if you don't know what your business is, I want you to own 3 traits right now. Is anybody confused? Raise your hand if you're confused. And I want to hear from everyone. So basically what you're doing, so we'll take mine, right? I was connected to the dog. I felt like there was something bigger than me happening here. I'm doing all of this, right? I'm helping people through story. I'm helping people believe that there's something greater than me. I'm doing things humorous and having fun. I'm motivating people through story. I'm helping people to live and believe in their dreams. I want you to take ownership right now. So Lisa says, I have compassion, a healing touch, and a natural at being a nurse, and so much more, Lisa, right? Because you're growing into other things. I know Lisa very well. Christina says, gentleness, compassionate, and protection, guardian. Great. So Christina, I invite you now to tell me what career that is for you. What career is that for you? Lisa, what career are you moving into? Beva was encouraged to be an artist, felt safe, expressive veterinarian, loved helping animals, archaeologist, like discovering hidden civilizations. What career could that possibly be soul aligned for you now? Lindsay, fun, silly, creative, getting people out of their work mode and into a state of playing and connecting. Love it. What career could you possibly do now? I don't want you thinking about the careers that are out there. I want you to brand yourself based on your own personal love and experience. And this is where we're going to open it up to Q&A so I can help you. Compassion, understanding, helping. Okay, so now start giving me what career you want to do. Hello, Maurice. Getting used to being an innovator, accepting my abilities, working at it every day, career being a body worker. Love that, Maurice. Love that. Vanita, love this. Strong communication skills, creative, a healer, and an artist. Lisa says, I'm moving into teaching younger generations to start healing naturally. Feeling good about sharing, feel compassion, feel meaning. Hi, Kathleen. So nice to see you on here. So Jan says, I know I'm loved. I understand I'm valued. I am part of the whole and worthwhile. Those are the things I want others to feel because it took so long for me to understand those things. Great. Now, Jan, can you see that all of that can be in your art? That's what you could help people experience, if that's what you choose to do. Jan has other gifts too. Beva, it's not only about your interest as a child. You like exploring. You like, let me go back to your thing. You expressive, create, you creating art, you're encouraging others, you're helping others to express themselves. You want to take those things and you want to think, what could I possibly do with that? What could I possibly be with that? Because what I'm trying to show you right now, and I want to know anybody who's confused right now, tell me. Encouraging, expressing. So what I just did for all of you, and I want to know if anybody thought it was they didn't understand it, they're confused, they still don't know, please don't be shy. Tell me that. I want to know, I want to help. Because by me helping you, I'm going to help anybody who's listening right now and still confused. But how I'm going to summarize this for you right now is all those traits. You all said, I felt great. I felt peaceful. You shared all these things that you felt that were amazing, right? You want to make sure that that is in your career. And even if you don't want a career, say you want to volunteer, or say you just want to be the best mother you can be, which is a career in and of itself, or father you want to be, right? I'm not doing the parent thing. Whatever it is, you want this stuff in you. And I'll tell you why. No matter where I go in my business, how many people tell me in the chat, do you think I'm going to have storytelling in there, motivating people through story? Do you think I'm going to have helping people to believe there's something greater and bigger than us out there? Do you think I'm going to have helping people to see and hear themselves? Do you think I'm going to have in there trusting their own gifts and humor? Everything I am, I'm going to be in any iteration of my life. Therefore, my purpose is always aligned with my soul. Does this make sense? I need to know in the chat. Give me feedback. And again, guys, some of you don't know me. I'm really okay, as long as you're respectful. I'm really okay with people saying to me, Marilyn, I don't understand. Or I was doing a reading once for this woman. I'm sure this happened more than once, but it was the one time it really hit me. And when I used to do readings, I would just, you don't get to say a word usually. And she was doing yes. She was just nodding yes, nodding yes, nodding yes. And I finally stopped and I said, do you understand what I'm saying? And she started nodding no. And I was like, she was just being polite. It was her, her thing of being polite. I don't need politeness. I need you guys shifting and growing and expanding. All right, let's see what we got here. So we're going to walk away with a summary still, though. They want me to do this. They want you to own something. So I'm not looking for a career, but I'm looking for the best use of my time and retire while enjoying life. That's perfect. Loriana said, I'm retired from 2 careers, one in advertising and one in financial. Both used my love and background in psychology. So I'm not looking for a career, but I'm looking for the best use of my time in retirement while I'm enjoying life. You would want to take those traits and think about how you could feel that every day. It might be volunteering someplace, or it might be creating your own volunteering. I'm going to go help this elderly woman who has a dog, and I'm going to go take her dogs for walks every day. You're in your joy then. You're not trying to fit into a volunteer organization that you think you're supposed to do or you should do if it does not have those traits. So now I want everybody right now, before we go, I want you to own a statement. I am. What are you? I'm a healer. I'm a writer. I'm an artist. I'm a teacher. It could be more than one thing, but I want you owning something right now. And of course, anybody on the podcast, like, it would be hard for me to say. I would say, ultimately, I am a teacher. Ultimately, I'm a storyteller. So you can have a couple, but I want everybody to own a statement right now. And then we're going to open the Q&A. So Beva says, not interested in career or business. I don't care if you're not interested in career or business. And this Beva, I know Beva very well. Just want to help others feel good about themselves by encouragement and retired. Great. But I watch you, Beva, jump around not knowing what to do, right? And she's so talented. She's a super talented artist and has a way with words. Then do that. Help people to feel encouraged. And anytime you get into confusion, go back to yourself and go, okay, what do I need to do to help people feel encouraged? Now you have an answer. So Joan says, I'm a healer. Christina says, I am me. Love it, Christina. Beautiful. Let me read some of these. I am the energy chameleon. I totally understand. This is a whole new level now. Love that, Sandra. I'm an artist and teacher, encourager. Beautiful. I'm a host. Lindsay, I love that. There's so much in that statement. I'm a captain of the fun team. I love that, Laura. That's great. That is great. Let me see some others. Hold on. And then we will open up. Emily says, I'm now learning a new path while caring for family, enjoying the same traits in both worlds. I'm a discoverer of new ways and talents. Love that. Can you see how what I just said to Beva, and let's say Emily's got kids and stuff. She says, I'm a discoverer. Can you see how you can bring that into your soul business? How many of you, tell me in the chat, want to have a career, a financial, monetary career where you're making money doing what you love to do? Give me that in the chat right now. Okay, that's yes, me. Yes. So there's a lot of you. Great. Okay. And if you don't, that's cool too. Audrey says no. Great. Love it. But okay, so for those of you who are a yes, let me just say this again. All of what I just shared with you, when I promote product, I make sure I'm storytelling. When I'm talking to a client, like now I'm doing, because we're doing the next program, which is a year-long program. So I'm starting to send video messages. It's only to a very warm audience right now. It's to people who graduated Soul Finder Academy. I'm sending video messages to them, right? Personal video messages, because I know them, but I may like touch on something about them. I may tell a story. I'm connecting with them. Super powerful and important to me. Most people buy my programs without me even having to get a call with them. So I want you to own who you are, own your alignment, take these traits, make sure it's in sales, marketing, in your business. Don't try to fit into somebody else's freaking container. Take your own thing and brand it and be who you are. Okay? Because when I got caught up with, oh, I have to do this and I have to do this direct messaging and I have to friend this person, I have to do this. And I'm like, I can't do any of that because it's so not authentic to me. When I just show up and I'm just like, hey, I'm super friggin', and you know what's happening too with me now? I'm no longer creating product. Not that I always did this, but I've done this a few times where I try to create product that fits into the market. Fuck that. I'm not doing that. I'm creating a product that I want to bring to the world. And then what's happening is I'm super excited and stoked by it. And the people that are joining are like, they're excited. So it's so much of what I want to do. I'm done with these containers. I am really excited to be me and bring what I do out to me. Now, with that said, I do think it's important to study marketing, social media, if you want that kind of stuff, and then make it your own. Okay. Jan says, you're saying what I've been struggling with. Good. Good. All right. Does anybody, first, let's do this first. Does anybody have a question with what I just did? Well, we're going to do this anyway. Raise your hand. And remember, you're going to be on a podcast. You're going to be probably on YouTube. So be ready to be vulnerable and stuff like that. So just know that this isn't private just for this group, although you guys have been magical. What can I help you with now? How can I coach you now? How can I, is anybody not clear still? Are you afraid? Let me talk to the nervousness real quick. Was that you, Lindsay, that was nervous? No. So the nervousness is good. Anything you're doing in your life that's new, you're going to be nervous. You're going to be fearful. You're going to be like, oh my goodness, can I do it? You have nothing to compare it to. Am I worthy of this? All these questions are going to come in. There's nothing wrong with those questions, but take the techniques and tools and work with it. We don't want to deny, I'm going to wait until I feel good. I'm going to wait until I don't feel nervous anymore. No, doesn't happen. You're going to feel that no matter what. Even Gloriana, who doesn't want a career, has had two excellent careers. You may go into a new volunteer situation and be like, I don't know. How do I feel about this? I'm sensitive. You know, when I went into Children's Hospital with Micah and volunteered, that really I got to tell a really quick story. I'm very empathic. I was never on the cancer floor. I didn't know I was on the cancer floor. By the last patient, I got so nauseous and sick. I had to leave. And I had to get home really fast. And then I threw up. And then I went to sleep for 3 hours. And then I was fine. And I realized, I didn't know it. I realized in the moment, like, that I got sick from all the poor cancer patients. I was feeling their emotions. We don't know what's going to happen. And you want to be able to bring your whole self to things. And then after that, pretty soon after that, I recognized that Micah, it was too much for Micah. It was too much for me to go into those typical situations. Other people, it was great when we did it, but you have to know what's best for you. And it doesn't make you a bad person because you can't volunteer in that particular situation. Know yourself. Did I just go off on a tangent? I think I did. No? Okay, thank you. What kinds of questions should I ask guides about what next steps I should take? Lorraine, no. No. Where are you? Can you be on camera, Lorraine? I'm going to get tough on you guys. Where is Lorraine? There she is. Okay. I'm asking to unmute you. So unmute. Hi.
Hi.
So it's not, let me ask you this, Lorraine, what next steps I should take? What is it you want to do? Design, right? You're doing clothing design and shoe design or something, right? What are you doing?
No, actually, I wanted to do something that involves helping people recover from abuse and other traumas.
Okay, wait a second though. But weren't you taking some design classes?
No, I've been taking psychology classes.
Why did I see you? Why do I feel like I know who you are? I mean, you're friends with me on Facebook and I see your stuff. Fascinating. So let's see what
So I had been taking some art classes in college. And so, yeah, I really enjoyed that as well.
Okay. Do not deny that side of you.
Okay.
Because you may bring the art into helping women or men getting out of abusive family relationships. And that may create a safety zone and a conversation. Okay. So really what I want you to ask yourself, Lorraine, is how can I bring what I already know to a situation right now? Because what's coming up for me in this moment, and I'll listen to you in a second, but I have to say this. There are organizations out there that you may be able to volunteer just once a month because you already have a busy schedule, where you're bringing some type of art class to a bunch of battered, I don't want to say just women because we know men do too, right? So we just want to say whatever situation you're in, and you're helping them to have conversation while doing art.
Okay.
What is it? I don't want to even ask how that feels to you because I don't think that that's necessary right now. What is it exactly that you want to do?
I really feel like I want to do something similar to what you do, but of course, geared toward recovery.
Great.
like your membership for your soul programs and stuff. Like I would really like to do that and lean it more towards coaching and being able to reach a larger amount of people than just one-on-one therapy.
Okay, so what are you waiting for?
One is I'm in school to get my therapy degree, but I know that because of my personal experience with this, I don't necessarily need to wait for that to happen to get started. But what I don't know is what I should do between now and then to start moving into this.
Great. I'm going to help you. Whew. Take a breath. Lorraine, and I want everybody to answer this for themselves. Are you ready to step into the shoes of the person who can help other people who are in abusive situations get out of those situations? What's your answer?
Yes.
Okay. You can open your eyes. What I want you to do is journal about that. I want you to ask where I am today and where I want to be. What do I need to do to bridge that gap?
Okay.
And I want you to journal on it from a personal perspective, psychological, worthiness, not so much the tactile. Because as much as I feel you are ready from a soul level, there's some type of energy that's, I don't know if it's mind chatter, I don't know, but I see this, I don't know why shoes are so important to me with you, but I see these pair of shoes that you're supposed to step into. Okay. So I'd like to offer you up a couple of things. One, I want you to start learning how to grow a community-based program right now, like not so much a paid program as much as it may be a Facebook group or an Instagram following. I need you to start building community now.
Okay.
And then there's many people out there that teach online marketing, but I always think like Amy Porterfield is one of the best places to start because she has a great podcast, one of the top rated podcasts. There's so many people I would acknowledge in this space. You thinking you're not ready for that piece yet, or I don't know if you do or not, listening to those podcasts going to make you creative. You're going to be like, oh my goodness, I can do this. I can do this. What I want you to do is build the community.
Okay. I really started to try to do that. I had thought about trying to start like a support group kind of thing on Facebook. And what I ended up doing was starting a page where I just am stepping out and reading tarot on a daily in Instagram.
Great. Keep doing that.
I feel like some of that healing stuff wants to come out through that some.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of where I've started.
It's a great place to start, Lorraine, and you don't edit any of it. You bring all of that in because that's what's going to make you magical. And the whole thing about, like, I'm all for therapists. I was in therapy for 17 years. But I know from therapists that played with tarot cards, they could not bring that always into their sessions because of the licensing.
Yeah.
So, and then there were others that found their way around it by being MSWs or whatever it was. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to get into that because that's not my expertise. I want you to bring all of that in now. But here's the thing. I know it's a page, but I'd rather you start doing it in a group setting or something where you're capturing people's names. Because on a page, you've got the likes, which is great. But and the thing about Facebook groups, I'm going to say two things. I'm not really, whatever. Facebook groups, you're going to get people on there, so you can create the safety.
Mm-hmm.
And at least you'll be more in front of the people. And I want you're doing video with this?
No, I actually just, take a picture of the card and then type something up.
Okay. I want you to start playing with the idea of doing lives. And Molly Mahoney, the prepared performer, start following her. She's great with video and teaching people how to do video. So Amy Porterfield, there's so many people that I recommend. And these aren't necessarily, Molly's great. I love Molly. She's a friend of mine. Amy Porterfield is the Online Marketing Made Easy podcast. And then Molly Mahoney is the prepared performer, and she gives a lot for free, and she's amazing at because I want you doing video or something. I don't know if it's Instagram, Pinterest, you have to decide where it is.
Okay.
But I want you to start building the community. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Good job.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So one of the things I want to repeat, and I'm going to take a couple more with Lorraine, is I see people do this all the time. They're waiting, and I'm not, Lorraine, this may not be you, honey, because I didn't give you a chance to speak, so I don't want to put words in your mouth. But let me use Lorraine as a teaching moment of what I think. I see a lot of people waiting until they have a certain something before they build the community. Especially if you want a membership or an online course type of thing, you need to build community, because you can't get the numbers of 200 and above in your communities if you don't have it's not really true, because you could do a lot of things. A lot of people are breaking paradigms out there, but usually you have to build a community, and then they buy from you. They start buying from you and stuff like that, which is great. So don't wait anymore. She said I'm spot on about waiting. Good. Thanks for sharing that, Emily. Working as a psychic medium is not making you feel good anymore. All right. I want you guys to raise your hand, but I'm going to go to Kathleen for a second. And then raise your hand if you have any questions for me. Don't put it in the chat because I may lose it at this time. Oh, I just put Gia up there just because I love Gia. My little Gia. So guys, I know a lot of people are in my community, so I know them very well. So if I'm acting warmer to them than the person I don't know that well, that's the only reason why I have relationships with them. Okay, there's Kathleen. Hi, Kathleen.
Hi, Marilyn.
And you just joined membership too, right?
Yes. Yep. It's only been a few weeks. So I'm very excited.
Good.
I'm very happy here. I am. I feel like I'm in the right place.
Yeah, the community is amazing. And we're going to start doing accountability pods. This is membership for your soul, which I'm going to actually give you guys a trial offer if you want to try it out for $1 for 30 days. But when we start doing the accountability pods, which will be in May, it's going to be so much more beneficial for everybody in there. It's going to help you to even get through you'll see, it's going to be incredible, but it won't be introduced till about May. Kathleen, you just said something that's super important to me. Tell me what you just said in the chat.
I said that working as a psychic medium is not making me feel good anymore. And it's really upsetting to me. Okay. Because I've been doing this for a while, for a number of years. And I always felt good. Normally, after doing a reading, I would feel good giving people what I felt they may need during that time. And that part always made me feel like I was just following my passion, that I was doing the work I came to do. But I noticed that some people were getting too dependent on me. Mm-hmm. And I had to kind of back away, and I think you just said something earlier when you mentioned, like, remember you said something in this cast that you wanted to teach people or show people what, empower them so that they could feel good about themselves and their own guidance. And that's where I feel I am now. I don't want to just keep giving people teaching.
Go ahead.
All right. I feel like I want to use my gifts, which these are my gifts. I know being able to do this. I'm sure you understand that it's important. And I know it's like a God-given thing, but I don't want people to feel they have to come to me for all the answers, because that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to help them learn, or help them to show them that they have the answers. This is where I'm getting frustrated, because
something else I just wrote is coaching. How would you feel if you were working with somebody in a coaching capacity, as well as using your gifts in the coaching capacity, but they were working with you maybe for 3 months, and they were working on a specific result that they were going to get in their own life, so that you were working with them, doing readings and doing techniques and tools and helping them see things about themselves. And then they went away for a week and they did some homework. And then they came back to you and you continued on the journey with them from there. How would that feel to you?
Oh my God, that's like exciting. That's like a whole new perception. I never imagined that.
Yeah.
That would make me feel like I'm sharing what I know or whatever I can offer, and help them to start to look at things that are in their own way and understand more about what they need and what they need to learn, right? And then back and see where they are. And that's like really interesting, because that's like, like you said, teaching in a way where, I'm not a regular teacher. I'm doing something that really is important, I feel, in this way for me to be able to share that and do it.
Let me say something really, you said a couple of things, because I did write coaching underneath teaching. I think this is going to be really good for you, and I'm going to share something with you. But you said I'm not a regular teacher, and that's the programming that I want to break. Because we get into these minds like a vet is a regular vet. And it's like, no, you could be a veterinarian that is also an animal communicator that is doing hands-on healing and also has the medical degree of the vet. People have to get out of the box of what that particular career was. But we don't deny ourselves, like, I'm an innate teacher. I love teaching people things. You're probably an innate motivator and with your gifts, and we don't deny our gifts. So when I started coaching, when I did this, I started doing, I was doing one-on-ones, and then I went into coaching with people with my reading skills, and still do it to this day, but it's only if people know me. I'll do the coaching for 6 months and stuff. And I go in, and I'm just sharing this with you, Kathleen, because I want you to think out of the box. I will go in the first time they're with me, and I'll do a reading for them. But then I give action-oriented steps, and then I sit with them and talk with them, and I want to know what they want, what they want results in, what we're working on. And then I work from a soul level with them, which I'm saying all this not because I do this, because I feel you can do this. And I read what they can do, like, oh, you're not, because they need someone like you to encourage them, because they're not seeing their souls. Yeah. She's crying.
Yeah, because, oh God, for me, it always comes down to the soul. I know that's really the most authentic, truthful part of who we all are. And I want to be able to share that with people, because I want them to know their soul.
Yeah.
I feel like, to me, that's the best thing that I could possibly help them with.
Great.
And I know for me, that's so important. That's like, my heart just opens every time.
Yeah.
It does.
And you're going to feel so much better with somebody you're working with for like 3-6 months, whatever it is. It could even be twice. I only work twice a month with people, because I want to give them time to in between, and I have conversations with them between. It doesn't matter. You don't need to know all that. Look at the structures out there that other people do this kinds of stuff. It's not to steal from them. It's to get ideas of what your packages would be. And then I want you to start thinking about things that have motivated you into change, things that you've studied, books that you've read, because people deny that stuff. Like, I'm pulling from my dream work. I'm pulling from my acting classes. I'm pulling from my time in production. Pull from all those areas, but sit down with yourself and journal 10 major moments in your life where you did maybe a meditation or you learned something that catapulted you to the next level. And then look at that as an actual program to offer up to someone else. So it gives you an outline. So you're not like even though I think you'll be fine willy-nilly, I think you're like me, where you just meet someone and then you go, but it'll give you a structure.
Yes.
And you can say to them in a product page, like, this is what I do. We work on, journaling and and then so it'll help you. Does that help?
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, you gave me so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I've been where you are, so good for you for not denying it. And then the other thing that may creep up is like, well, people need me in this way. No, people need to learn how to do it for themselves. And there's other people out there that want to do readings. Let them do the readings that way.
Okay. Thank you.
Great. You're welcome, honey. Welcome to membership. I will share. I'm going to take one more, I think, because I just really enjoy you people. I'm really enjoying this. But I'm going to share the trial. If anybody, whoops, of course I lost it. I'll send it to you in an email. I do this every single time because I'm not doing these parties to necessarily, I'm doing these to get to know people. And then people get to know me, and then they know, like, I want to work with her. I don't want to work with her. I don't ever want anybody to feel like they're here and they have to, do anything. But I did want to share the trial with you. But of course, once again, I'm not ready to. I had it up on my screen, but I'll see if I can find it. All right. Vanita had her hands up. So let's go to Vanita. Oh, Venus is farting. I want everybody to know that. So now I have to sit in that smell. Whoosh. Okay, wait, I have to pin me too. All right, Vanita. Hi, sweetie.
Hello. This was awesome. It was wonderful to go through those exercises. What I noticed, which was wonderful, is the connection between what I'm looking to create and how through the exercises, I'm like, they absolutely do blend. So it just gave me a confirmation that it feels in alignment with what I'm going to be doing. So I wanted to get some input because I think I shared before, I'm looking to create a podcast. And the podcast is kind of sharing my own healing journey and all these beautiful people that I've met that helped me along my journey. And I'm wanting to now take some of those things and empower other people to see their own magic as they're healing. But I'm also looking to create a very loving, nurturing, and supportive community. So I love how you were talking earlier about people creating communities. And I was curious to know if I'm working more in a podcast format and I'm looking to kind of have these people who are coming and listening, including the people who are my guests, into a container. Is that something that I should try to look to create before I even launch? Should I wait until I launch? Any insights or thoughts for me?
Well, first one, I'm going to share this. This is the coach that I worked with, Podcasting Business School. His name is Adam, and do not ask me to, I think I shared this last time with you. Do not ask me to pronounce his last name because I have no idea how to pronounce it. I think it's Shable or something. He's super great. He teaches a lot on that podcast on how to do what I'm doing here.
Okay.
He's super giving. He's just a wonderful person. He also has a membership for people that want to grow their podcast. So I definitely would check him out. I should.
Okay.
And then tell him I sent you if you check him out.
Okay.
But what I would answer for this, Vidita, is I want you to create it. I feel like you're trying to put some things. You can create community, and I would choose one of the social media platforms to just start talking about what you want to talk about. The place that you feel the safest. I don't have anything against Facebook. I'm not going to sit here and badmouth Facebook. But it's no longer the place that I feel the most in alignment energetically anymore, even though we're still active in there. I like Instagram. I love the podcast format. I love doing the Zooms because the other thing about doing these Zooms, remember, you guys have to go on my list and then you have to fill out a form. Right. So I'm getting information about you that I want to have. And I want people on my list who really want to be there. And, because we had whatever. So you would want to set it up that way at first. But I think this format is such an incredible way to get to know people, right, and to really help people grow in their lives. And then a lot of times Adam won't make it, like he'll do pod parties and he doesn't make an offer on the thing. He'll just email them after 48 hours after and say, hey, this is what I've got if you're interested. He's not a pushy salesperson either. So what I want for you though, is I want you to start creating what's your social media platform that you're going to start with? Which one?
I would probably say Facebook because I already have kind of a community there.
Great. Stay there. I'm good with Facebook.
Okay.
I like Facebook. I have nothing against Facebook. I'm not going to get into political conversations or anything like that. That's great. Keep talking about it. Talk about the podcast you're getting prepared to do. Talk about the things that you're going to talk about, at the topics on it. Get their feedback. One of the things when I used to have Facebook free paid groups, one of the things someone said to me, a few people have said to me, even on my business page, they said, I don't do it as much on my business page like I used to. They love the fact that I engaged them and asked them questions. I wasn't telling them how to be. Now, if you look at my business page, it's not as like it was. Do that. Start conversation now. Yeah. What do you guys want to learn? I'm about to do a podcast. I'm going to do a Zoom party, where we're going to get together and gather and talk. Yeah. Create that community. Now, Sandra DeFreitas, let me spell her name. She does, wow, I didn't know I was sharing so many people. Next time I'm going to do affiliates. I'd be like, yo, guys, I want affiliates. I don't know if you know what affiliates are, but you get commission, but I'm not getting any commission from any of this. I'm just sharing with you incredible people that I love. Sandra DeFreitas does teach how to, and she has a podcast, actually. I can't remember her podcast name, but she does teach how to create and grow Facebook groups. She's a friend of mine. Here's her name. Love her. And she's excellent. So she actually right now, engagedgroups.com challenge. Let me share this. By the time people listening on this podcast, this may not be happening, but you can check Sandra out. And we'll make sure this is in the show notes. But let me just engagedgroups.com challenge. She's got a challenge coming up. it might have already started, but she is super good at what she does. So here it is. I'm going to put it in the chat. Check her out. Okay.
Yes.
And then I want you to stop. What's the launch date of the podcast? I don't want any willy-nilly anymore. When are you doing it?
Actually don't know the date. It's the day of I think it's a full moon, April 16th.
Oh, good. Congratulations.
Yeah,
so you're going to do it then.
Yes.
Great. Okay. And the producers that do mine, Lynn Brunette is her name, Line Brunette. I don't know the name of their company. I forgot it, but they are amazing producers who do my audio. Lynn and Ricky have been amazing for me. I love them. So you could always email me and I could connect you with them. And I just think they're amazing. So great. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you so
Okay.
much. This has all been incredibly helpful. And one thing I did want to share before I give space to someone else is, one of the things that I love the most is what you're doing is, sharing resources that have worked for you or people that you've worked with. And I think it's so important to do that. So I'm going to be doing that as well. So
yeah, to me, it's more important to, yeah, it's just important to.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. It's a win-win. It's a win-win and I love it. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much, Vanita.
Thank you.
I got distracted. Okay. Bye. Good luck, honey. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right. I'm going to take one more, but I think it doesn't seem to be working, but that's the trial. I think it's membershipforyoursoul.com trial. Okay. I'm going to take one more person. I just got to check who, and it was Lisa. It's Lisa. Hi, Lisa. I just lowered your hand by accident, but I'll ask you to unmute. Hi. How are you?
I'm good. I'm kind of hoping my question formulates as we're talking here because I'm feeling the urge to start marketing my business more. I did a marketing program, but since then, what I've been offering has changed. So now I have a better idea of a much more clear idea of what I'm offering. So now I need to sort of jump back into the marketing side of it, but I'm resistant to it. And I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if it's a part of me feels like I have to wait. And the other part of me is like, I don't think I want to go that way. The marketing program that I did was all Facebook based or social media based. And I don't love Facebook. So
where's your client hanging out? Where do you think they're hanging out?
Well, that's what the other thing I have to sort of sort out. I was thinking of working just with teens previously, but now I think I like young adults who are in a transition point and sort of feeling stuck. But I also like working with people my own age, so middle-aged women.
So here's the thing. And I just want to say something real quick, just because things come in. Those of you in membership, Sandra DeFreitas and Dustin Reichman have business classes in Membership for Your Soul. We started adding business classes, so definitely check those out. So here's the thing. This is why you're caught up, because you can't have a passionate conversation with your audience if you don't know who you're talking to. So what if you have to, for just the sake of being right now, is it young adults or is it the middle-aged woman or is it the middle-aged woman who has the young adult and you're talking to both? I want you to get clear on that, because it's not so much, I feel like, Lisa, I know you. So I feel like when you decide like, no, why do you want to do what you want to do? Why?
Because I feel like I can help other people to get unstuck and find their own joy and passion and live a life that's soul aligned, that ultimately will make the world a better place.
And who do you want to help do that more?
I feel I am drawn to young people because they have their whole life ahead of them to, get on the path earlier instead of later. But I also feel like they're not the ones that are really in a position to hire somebody to sort that out.
Yeah, but that's okay. I'm going to tell you why, but go ahead.
Okay. And I do really enjoy working with people that are my own age as well, who would also be the ones that have kids that age.
So I'm going to say something that you're going to like scream about, but I'm going to say it. TikTok.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because you have,
I wasn't thinking of that at all.
You have both the young adult audience and you have the moms of the young adults on TikTok. And people think TikTok isn't a great avenue for business, but it's actually a phenomenal avenue for business. And you don't have to do crazy dances. So I would check out Gary V's page, and I would check out anybody who's got more of a business. Like Rachel Peterson does do the dancers, but she's a social media person. Gary V is not going to sit around doing dances, right? I don't know if you know him. He's
what's
phenomenal.
His last name?
Just do VEE. It's
okay.
Gary Vaynerchuk. Once now that I've given you, you'll see him everywhere.
Okay.
But he is a big believer. He's always knows the social media trends. So here's the bottom line, Lisa, stop getting caught. You're totally right. The kid is not going to be the one who's hiring you. It's going to be the parent. That is totally true. So, and it's great that you want to work with both. I don't have a problem that you want to work with both, but you want to be able to do the messaging for both. So maybe it's I would like you to start going towards the parent who's possibly got this kid and think about both of them, talking to the kid and talking to the parent in any kind of way that you want to in social media. It could be even Pinterest. I don't know your audience enough, but I do know that particular audience is definitely both those people are on TikTok.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that at all.
And you don't, like I said, we're going to do TikToks. I'm not going to do any dances. There's no friggin' way you're going to see me dancing around like an idiot. I'm sorry. I actually watch those TikToks and I think those people are amazing. I really do. I would not be comfortable. I look at them and I'm like, man, they're good. Right. But you don't have to. There's this woman, she did dance, Miss Excel, EXCEL. I think she made like 100K in 24 hours. Her TikToks have gone through the roof. She's teaching Excel spreadsheets and doing little pointing and teaching. And read about her because she's got an incredible story. You're getting into a worthy thing, or I want you to get passionate about the messaging. And then you're just going to be like, I'm going to go on TikTok or I'm going to go on Facebook and just start talking about it. I feel like you're making the social media the problem. But I want you to journal about why do I have what I have to say? Why is it important? I want you to journal what I have to say. Why is it important? Think about the lives that you could save in these kids. Because the parents, when they're so close to the children, they don't know how to help them a lot of the times. And if they could find someone like you who could help a kid really, especially now, these kids are so gifted and they're misunderstood, not by the parents, I'm just saying by society, they aren't caught up yet. You could help so many grow.
Yeah.
And Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, but you want to look at Reels. Facebook Reels are going through the roof.
I don't even know what that is. So, okay.
So again, you took a Facebook class. You may want to go back in and take a look at it, because I'm not against Facebook. I'm just thinking about your market. And Sandra was shaking her head too when I said TikTok. I'm just thinking about your market, and I'm thinking where they're hanging out. Of course, they're on Snapchat and other things. That follow Gary V. He knows exactly where those kids are. He's so good. You might not like him because he curses and he's really assertive. I think you will. You like me, so you'll be fine. So, all right, good.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Unfortunately, thanks, Lisa. Good luck. Let me know how it goes. Unfortunately, I can't take anymore because I'm over the time limit. And Jan just attached her Etsy shop. So I think that let me know how this was for you. Let me know your biggest takeaway right now in the chat. And we'll be doing another pod party soon. So you can go and sign up for it again, MarilynAlauria.com/party. I think that one we're talking about empathic ability. I think I'm going to start bringing business more into my conversations because I actually have studied so much of it and I really enjoy it. And I'll tell you in a second, Vanita. And so when we do empathic ability, we're going to talk about being empathic and being in a business. So whether you want a business or not does not matter to me, because learning things outside your wheelhouse is going to grow you more than you can imagine. So I just think that it's super helpful to grow you no matter what. So she said, what was the color exercise about? It was just about you honing into a color and getting getting off the mind chatter. When I tell you to focus on a color inside of you when you're doing breath, you're getting out of mind chatter and you're going into clairvoyancy and you're thinking, my color was this beautiful gold. You're just getting out of the mind chatter. You're dropping into your body. So that's why I did color. All right, guys, thank you so much. Give me your takeaways. And for all those who are listening on the podcast, you can go to marilynalauria.com/party. I will say, no, I don't think I'm going to say that. I will send you guys an email because I do have another program coming out, but I will send that in an email. And I just want to thank all of you so much. And I'm super excited for you guys to live a soul aligned life, do the business you're meant to do. I want you all also journaling about whether you're worthy or not to do the business you want to do. It is okay to feel unworthy. It's not okay to stay there. Okay? It is okay to feel unworthy, but it's not okay to stay there. I don't want everybody to think like, I have to have it all together. I have to be perfect. I have to be this in order to do what I want to do. That's bull. Take the techniques and tools and work through this stuff. Know that from my belief, and I'm going to stop after this, but from my belief and from what I've been studying and what's been downloaded into me, we are all here for this. I'm getting so many chills, unbelievable, magnificent reason. And the only person you're hurting, well, you're hurting others and yourself by not getting your magic out there. And every single one of you has this incredible capacity to help, to heal, to do magic. We are all on level playing fields. Maybe we're at different levels just because we've studied different things or we feel more ready or whatever. It doesn't matter, but we're all incredible. So have an incredible day or night whenever you're listening to this. Thank you so much, everyone who joined me live. I love you so much. And it was so great seeing all of you. And if you want to send me an email, send it to care@marilynalauria.com, care@marilynalauria.com, and you can tell me how this was for you. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.